Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar being banned from Israel. We got to talk about this, man. This is crazy. As you know, there's been quite a dust up, and this has been brewing for quite some time, right? Ilhan Omar, she questioned the lobbyist organization and their influence on U.S. politics, and of course that was used to say, you must hate these people. You hate their lobbyist group, so you hate these people. All the babies, all the men, all the women, even the dogs, you hate everything about them because you hate this lobbyist organization. You got to hate the people. I always thought it was a bogus charge. I mean, I hate big pharma lobbyists. Does that mean I hate doctors? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean I hate doctors, man. Right? I can't stand the NRA lobbyists. Does that mean I hate, people who own guns? No, I don't hate all people that own guns just because I don't like the NRA lobbyists. There's an organization, right? It's an organization that has an agenda, and you can hate the agenda or the agenda or the way they carry out, they execute the agenda without hating the people or any group of people, right? You know, there are people who hate Black Lives Matter. Doesn't mean they hate every black person ever born. They might just not like the tactics that Black Lives Matter uses. But no, you can't use that form of logic at all. There's no room for you to think, to have any nuance whatsoever. If someone says these people, this guy, this person feels this way, you just got to believe it at face value, even if it doesn't purport or make any sense when applied to anything else. So that's why I've always thought that was a bogus-ass charge. And the people that defended it are bogus as well. Okay, so it's all culminated to where we are now, which is, well, hell, I got a clip for that. Gee Willikers. Gee Willikers, people, I got a plan for that. Golly gee.
In a wild escalation of his political wars, the President of the United States urged a foreign country to bar its doors from members of the United States Congress. At the President's urging, that country agreed to do it. The astounding chain of events began with a tweet, of course. President Trump wrote, "It would show great weakness if Israel allowed Representative Omar and Representative Tlaib to visit. They hate Israel and all Jewish people." Well, shortly after that, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu officially barred the two lawmakers. He argued it was due to their support for a pro-Palestinian boycott movement in Israel, which under Israeli law is grounds for banning.
Donald Trump tonight, right now, having done this, is totally isolated. He is facing rebukes, we can report, from Democrats and Republicans, from national security experts and civil libertarians, from liberal Jewish groups, and from more conservative U.S.-Israel groups like AIPAC. So there's a lot of blowback already on this brand new news.
First, from Marco Rubio today. I disagree 100% with Representatives Tlaib and Omar on Israel, he writes, but denying them entry into Israel is a mistake. He adds this for good measure. Being blocked is what they really hoped for all along in order to bolster their attacks against the Jewish state. But then we cross the aisle to Tim Kaine, former vice presidential nominee, and he goes there on the subject of U.S. aid. Prime Minister Netanyahu, drop your Muslim ban. Congress votes over and over again to provide unprecedented security assistance to Israel. Banning any member disrespects us all.
Well, I think, for once we did see some Republicans coming out and, really affirmatively saying that they thought that this was wrong, but I don't think that they've gone far enough. I mean, I agree with Senator Kaine. Israel is the largest recipient of military assistance in the world. We are allies, and I think that this is really unacceptable. I just think.
I couldn't listen to Barbara Boxer. I refuse to listen to Barbara Boxer, even if it was helpful. I don't even care what she said. She's such a horrific human being, I can't listen to her. Okay, so, you mean to tell me AIPAC doesn't agree with Donald Trump? They think it was a bad idea for Donald Trump to, tell Netanyahu, to tell that guy to bar these women from the country. And they're probably right. He didn't have to do it, though. But I guess he did have to. But he didn't have to. Look, Donald Trump is playing politics. That's what he's doing. He's playing politics, and he doesn't care who he hurts. He thinks this helps him somehow. He can make Democrats look like the boogeyman, and somehow he'll be the beneficiary of some type of, votes or, not votes, but just the emotional appeal of certain people in certain key states. I don't know. I mean, everything that Donald Trump does, I think he does it for a reason or he does it for ego. This, I think, is a reason. I don't think this has to do with ego. He made a calculation and this was a good move for himself. People should just call it for what it is. Donald Trump, a guy who a lot of people voted for because they said he's not a politician, plays politics a whole lot, but it's even worse because it's not regular politics. It can be grimy and disgusting as on its own. He plays this other thing called scorched earth, last man standing. That's what he plays. That's even worse than politics. And yeah, I agree that, we send a lot of money. Send a lot of money to a country that you're saying Congress people from the United States can't even go there. Jesus. Problematic as hell and really difficult for people to swallow. I don't know how you make that float. I don't know how you make that make sense. I don't know why this is a good move for Trump. I don't think it's a good move for Trump. Once again, like I say, Trump gets in his own way. He steps on his own feet. Trips over his own feet, and now look at him. Look at him. This is. I don't think it's a bad move. Not only is it ethically a bad move, it's a bad move strategically for Donald Trump. That's what I think. They had Bernie Sanders on MSNBC, and he had an opportunity to talk about it. Let's see what Bernie has to say.
Now, from Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders, independent senator from Vermont. Senator, good to see you. What's your reaction to President Trump asking the president of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, to do this, and Netanyahu obliging?
Well, I wish I could tell you, Ali, that I am shocked. I am not. We have a president who tragically is a racist, is a xenophobe, and who is a religious bigot. But the idea that a member of the United States Congress cannot visit a nation, which, by the way, we support to the tune of billions and billions of dollars, is clearly an outrage. And if Israel doesn't want members of the United States Congress to visit their country to get a firsthand look at what's going on, and I've been there many, many times, but if he doesn't want members to visit, maybe he can respectfully decline the billions of dollars that we give to Israel.
Over time, in excess of $140 billion, last year alone, $3 billion in various types of aid. You've actually suggested that might be used to leverage some of Israel's behavior that Representatives Omar and Tlaib are critical of, as you've been critical of.
Well, all that I am saying is that we need a Middle East policy which is even-handed, which protects the independence and the safety of Israel, but also shows respect to the Palestinian people, many of whom in Gaza and elsewhere are suffering incredibly. Unemployment rate off the charts. People cannot leave their community. And I think what the United States should be doing, especially with the enormous amount of money we're spending there, is to demand that Israel and the Palestinian leadership sit down and start working out their differences and create peace in that troubled region.
How could you give a country billions of dollars and then they tell you that they don't have to let you in the country? That's just crazy. These people are representatives of our country, so you're going to have to let them in. I don't see how you work around that. I know if you gave me billions of dollars, you could come by for dinner. You could do that. Especially you got, like, Rashida Tlaib has, like, her mom lives there. Like, what are you going to do? And then there was this back and forth because they said, well, you can come, but you can't say a negative word about Israel. And she was like, okay, I won't say anything negative. And then she got a little pushback. She was like, hold up. You know what? If I go over there, I'm going to call things as I see it. I'm going to speak truth to power. And it's like, So I'm not going to come over there. So now it's just crazy. Bottom line is, I thought Trump ran on Make America First. Well, you're not making America first if you're letting any other country take precedence over America. Yeah. I saw somebody in the comment section said, Donald Trump wasn't racist before, now he's racist. Hey, he could have been racist before, too. Yeah, he could have been. Just because you hang out with black people don't mean you like black people, man. Come on, man. Just because you hang out with Jewish people doesn't mean you like Jewish people. Just because you hang out or been around or dated or whatever does not mean you like everybody, man. You can still have a belief that you are superior to someone else, and they could be in your family for all you know. You know, or you could do like some people do, where they say, well, you're different, Tim Black. I mean, I know you're black, but you're different. You know, you're not like the rest of the blacks. They're mud people, but you're different. You sure you ain't got some white in your family? Like, there are people, you know, so like this whole idea that because, like people like to say because, you know, like I think Bill Clinton's racist. Feel better now? He hung out with Mike Tyson and Chris Tucker and Chris Rock, and I still think he's racist. Does that make you feel any better? What's the difference between Bill Clinton and Donald Trump? They were friends. Their kids played together, had sleepovers. They're both very successful, very powerful people. And they used black people at every occasion when it benefited them. That's been my experience with both of them. So now what? Is it possible that they think that they're superior? I think it's very possible. Oh, but Bill Clinton played the sax. Obviously, it's a wind instrument. All races play wind instruments, Johnson. I'm joking, man. I don't know about that. Dizzy Gillespie played a wind instrument. Grover Washington played a wind instrument. Anyway, back to my point. Okay, so this whole thing, right? It's been BS. Donald Trump has used it. This whole thing about Omar, garbage, Rashida Tlaib, garbage. But, you know, the truth is everyone's always playing politics, and that's the problem with politics, right? So there are no absolute rights or absolute wrongs, but I can tell you this, the Palestinians got a raw deal, and I don't like it. And I support Palestinians being able to live like human beings. I support that. If you don't support that and you got a problem with that, I guess you're going to have a problem with me. So, and I think it's crap, it's garbage that Donald Trump, he can run on this Make America Great Again and America First, and then the first thing he do is bend over for another country because it suits him politically, and I think that's garbage. So anyway, moving right along. Hey, Bernie spoke to it. Thank you, Bernie, for speaking truth to power right there. Nope, speaking truth to power there. They can't call Bernie anti-Semitic because Bernie is Jewish. Foiled again. Must think of another term to call him that's not anti-Semitic. So anyway, so Bernie Sanders, he's been playing the social media game pretty well. And he's been doing really well at getting the word out. You know, he recently was on the #1 podcast in the country, Joe Rogan's podcast. Amazing numbers. I'm sure it's past 8 million views right now. That's what we talk about, killing it, man. Woo! Damn. As usual, you know, Democrats gave him crap about going on it. You know, because, you know, they don't want Bernie to, like, do well. What are you doing going on a platform where you can reach 8 million people for free? What's wrong with you? You're betraying our ideals about reaching people and activating people and informing people. I mean, how do you even make the claim that even makes sense? These losers on Twitter, these blue check mark bastards on Twitter, and yeah, I got a blue check mark, but I got mine on my own. Yeah, they got it because they have a job working somewhere. That's why they got it. I got mine because of you guys. It was like, this guy, Tim Black's got a lot of people in it. Guys built his own thing. I guess we'll give him a check mark. But it wasn't, you know. So those guys, they love to act like they don't understand the importance of a candidate who's running for president taking every opportunity that he can take in order to reach lots of people. They did the same thing when it went on Fox News. All because Elizabeth Warren was too chicken shit to go. Now Bernie Sanders is a bad guy because he's going. And look, if Bernie based what he did on if Senator Warren did it, he'd do nothing. Well, Jolly G, snickerdoodles, and jumping Jehoshaphat's, and ping pong balls, and shut the front door. Willy Wonka biscuits. I got a plan for that. I'm going to avoid all scrutiny in any type of hostile rooms where people ask me questions I don't want to answer. But I got a story. When I was a little girl, my mama, my papa told me I wow. And she laid the dress out. And then we took the dress down to the flea market and we sold it. Or something like that. Anyway, back to Bernie Sanders doing a really good job of using social media to his advantage. He's developed his own media thing. Brianna Joy, she's doing her thing. And a lot of people on the staff are doing their thing. I saw Faiz. He's out there killing it. You know, Nina Turner, force of nature whenever she grabs a mic. Like, they're doing a great job of getting the message out. Okay? Well, in tune with getting the message out, Bernie Sanders recently sat down with Cardi B and had a conversation. Check this out.
A lot of buzz about the relationship between Bernie Sanders, the candidate, and Cardi B, the very popular rapper. She's made her interest in politics well known for a long time. In fact, on the 2016 election night, she was doing political coverage with Desus and Mero. She also spoke out against Donald Trump for this year's government shutdown, rallying her fans, saying they should care about it, just like she said they should get civically engaged and care about the debates.
If you was to have a chance to ask one of these Democratic candidates a question, what would your question be? Ask those questions down in my comments, and we are going to try to get them questions answered.
And now she is getting some of those questions answered. Cardi B, you should know, has one of the most followed online profiles of anyone in the country. 49 million on Instagram alone. That's larger than NASA's following, which has about 47 million. And she's just behind LeBron James at 51 million people. So when she posts, she actually reaches more people than most TV channels. And that's why her new interview, which puts some of those questions to Bernie Sanders, isn't just a kind of a cultural moment, although it is that. It's also really a political and media event.
What are we going to do about wages in America? When I was not famous, I just felt like no matter how many jobs I get, I wasn't able to make ends.
That is an excellent and important question. Can you imagine somebody today earning $9 an hour?
It don't make no sense.
No, it doesn't. How do you pay your rent? How do you pay for food? How do you pay for transportation?
Right.
You can't pay.
You know, certain people like to brag that there is more jobs now in America, but it's like, yeah, there's an increase of jobs given, but what are they paying in these jobs? They're practically paying nothing.
You got it. That is exactly the issue.
You know that you have a mutual respect for FDR.
I have a couple of reasons why I love FDR. He became a president when America was in one of its worst times. And not only are you going through a depression, but you're also going through World War II. I mean, come on now. He did the New Deal. Like, that's the reason we have Social Security. Goddamn. I love him. He's my favorite.
Well, I want to be a favorite after I'm elected, but we'll see.
But thank you so much, Bernie.
Thank you so much.
Let's feel the burn.
Oh. Wow. She's pretty smart. She's pretty smart, man. Okay, stop everything. Cardi B asking better questions than the MSNBC anchors. Rachel Maddow cut her salary in a third, give it to Cardi B to get the other half to Joe Rogan. That's it. That's a decision. Move on it. Get on it. Make it happen. I mean, come on. Joe Rogan and Cardi B ask better questions than most of these anchors who pay millions of dollars to give us false narratives. They would have been asking Bernie, well, Bernie, what about that person on your staff during a campaign who you didn't personally know, who made someone feel uncomfortable? What have you done to combat that? What? I fired him. What do you want me to do? But Cardi B's asking questions about economy. She's asking about jobs. She's asking about wages. She asks about DACA. She asks about a lot of things, a lot of important issues. Climate change. She talked about a lot of things. Most of these anchors don't give Bernie that respect. They start talking about gossip and nonsense. So I'm impressed with Cardi B, and you gotta love her thing about FDR. Yeah, she knew that about Social Security. The social safety nets that FDR put into place had cogent, ideas, reasons to undergird why she feels that FDR was a great president. You know, I'm impressed. Way to go, Cardi B. Way to handle your business. Now, they're going to see these people, Cardi B, she has 50 million people following her, and I bet you there's still Democrats pissed off and sour sitting over there. I don't know why he went on her show. I don't see the relevance, the importance of it. 50 million people follow her. More people follow her than follow Scientology. I don't know. A lot of people follow her. It makes me feel like I'm totally wasting my life, but I'm just saying, man. You follow her because you're not a complete idiot. You go on her show because you're not a complete dumbass. You go there because it's an opportunity. I thought we wanted to reach people and influence them to come out and vote. See, this is why Bernie has over 1 million volunteers right now, because they actually want to reach people. He did the same thing with Killer Mike last cycle. Sat down and had a conversation with someone who's well-respected in his community in efforts to reach that community and say, hey, I'm approachable. I can sit down and talk. I can have a relaxed conversation about important shit that you care about, and we can have that conversation. That's why Bernie Sanders is doing a great job, man. Forget what you heard. So anyway, I think it was a good move. And anyone, I think you got to definitely look at anyone who says it was a bad move for Bernie to sit down with either Joe Rogan or Cardi B. You got to look at them as suspect. Yeah, you sus all day.